I was about to give up when his son came. He hits him in his face and pushes him away from me and says,
"How could you do this to me? I told you I want her to be my wife. You know I love her."
"You're all mine. I built your world. You're all my property,"
responded the king, who looked like an angry devil. Then the prince grabbed my hand and started running to the door where we met his mother. She heard everything, and without any hesitation, she slapped her son. The latter didn't seem to care. He just gave her a very stern look and continued running. The king wasn't going to let us to be together. He will not accept no as an answer. We took a horse, some drops of water, and some food, and we headed out of the castle. We knew that soon soldiers will be looking for our pictures and prizes will be all over the city. We had no idea where we were going. We felt weak and lost. I questioned who would help me, and I couldn't think of anyone except my father. So we went to my home, but it was already filled with soldiers looking for us with pictures of me over the walls and with 2 barrels of water as the prize for the person who captured us. It was impossible to reach my family, so we waited until the guards slept and sneaked into the house. When I found my mom praying and crying and my father sleeping next to this barrel, we sneaked into my parents' bedroom and met my mom. When she saw me, she was about to go crazy, but the prince covered her mouth. I told her everything as fast as I could and asked for her to help us hide. After a little bit of thinking, she hides us in the basement until my dad wakes up. And he will find us an excellent place to hide. But next morning, she told him everything. But instead of helping us, he immediately locked us in the basement. She tried to stop him, but he hit her until she knocked out. And then he told the guards about us. At that moment, I felt like I stopped having a meaning. Why am I resisting? Are these the people I'm trying to help? This traitor, who I once called Dad, he doesn't deserve to be in a perfect world when everybody can drink as much as he wants. However, when I looked at the prince, he was still fighting. He's not giving up in front of like 30 soldiers. Only then I remembered that there's no time for giving up. And you can't blame thirsty people after being captured. The king humiliated us. He kept us in freezing cold cells where I couldn't stand up properly. Every 3 days, he let his wet hand into my cell so I could drink 1 drop of that water until he decided to kill me. Finally, he was an evil monster, but he couldn't kill his son. Me, I wasn't against death. It seemed to be freedom for me. This world is just too messed up to be in. Now, the day is finally here. I am walking straight to my death, feeling weak and pathetic. The guards fixed my head on the scaffold in the middle of the city where everybody was watching. The king stood up and said,
"This is what happens when you give honor to people who don't deserve it. This blood stealer tried to cut my throat and drink my blood. I gave her the chance to be a holy maid, but she refused. Well, I won't forgive traitors. I won't forgive selfish people who don't think about people's lives."
And the crowd got mad and insisted for my death. I didn't care at first, but when I looked at them, I remembered that these people were tricked. They don't know the truth. If I don't say it to them, they will die stupid. So I took a hard, deep, and long breath until I felt my lungs were about to explode. I looked at them and said, "You dumb, stupid, enslaved people, do you believe that this making water with his blood? I know what we're all told, but I saw it. I have seen the water. It exists. The redemption is there under his feet. He swims in the clean water while some of you are killing their children to drink their blood. Wake up, people, wake up! You're being used like animals. Your daughters are toys for him to play with. Your sons are dying in his wars. And what you get is a drop of water? While he shits in lakes of water? Please don't believe him. Please wake up. For a moment, I thought the crowd believed me. They were shocked and questioning themselves and starting to realize the truth until I heard a man screaming.
Don't believe her! She's a liar! A slave person! She's lying to save her life! I have known her since she was a little girl. She is always dishonest and manipulative. Do not believe her and obey your king!
I know this voice. It's my dad. My father stood against me. But I said, you couldn't blame a thirsty man. The crowd was shocked. They're back to chaos. And they were all screaming, kill her! Kill her!
Kill her!
Kill her! But someone screamed with a feminine yet stern voice.
Shut up!
She's the queen! She spoke, and the crowd went to complete silence. She was holding a bucket of water. She got like 30 maids with her, and each one was holding a bucket full of water. Then she raised her hands, and every maid took the pail and spilled it on her. The crowd was shocked. They immediately turned into animals liking the maid's clothes. It was so disgusting. Even my mom and father, everyone was fighting for a drop of water. The king tries to order his soldiers to discipline the crowd, but the soldiers are the first to go into the feast. The scene is so crazy until the queen speaks. My people, this girl is telling the truth. We do have water, enough for all of us. 50 years ago, your king found a water hole in this mountain, and he tricked us. He tricked us all into believing he was making the water. This devil made us all suffer. But it's time to live normal. It's time to be happy again. It's time to be free. Her speech moved to everyone's feelings. Finally, everyone believed. Everyone started screaming at the king. They were marching on him. They wanted to kill him until his son, the prince, just came out from the angry crowd, holding a sword and screaming,
I will punish him! Move away from him!
And they moved away. After a year, the king got his punishment. He was banished from the city with only 30 drops of water. Finally, life started to feel good in the village. I was chosen to be the queen, and the prince is my king now. And we swore that anyone will be welcomed in here. Anybody that can appreciate the gift of water can live with us. And don't forget, a thirsty man is a devil.